welcome to another episode of the Jiu Jitsu Therapy with Chris Mize podcast. Today we're discussing overcoming adversity. In the studio today, we've got Ben McGrath, one of our blue belts. We've got Coach Michael McGrath, Ben's dad, purple belt with us. And running the board today, as usual, Coach Chris Bowen, one of our brown belt instructors. And we couldn't do it without Coach Chris. And if you have not listened to his Furlough podcast, please do that. It's very entertaining. I think you'll get a lot out of it. So look that up as well. So again, as I mentioned, the topic today is overcoming adversity through Jiu Jitsu. And so many lessons we learn in Jiu Jitsu can be just transferred to other things. And again, basically you can think about, well, Jiu Jitsu is based on working through bad positions. We'll start on bottom, you have a heavy person on top of you, you learn to escape and turn that around, or somebody gets your back, somebody mounts you, you learn to get out of those things. You may get shell shocked, you may have claustrophobia, you may have things that you have to work through. But we're always trying to build a good defense, but a lot of times we end up getting behind in time and in a bad position, and we have to fight our way out of that. And does the trauma of fighting out of that scar you to a point to where it's hard for you to react appropriately? So we've got to learn to respond in a timely fashion and be able to just get over stuff faster. We've got to be able to not just react, but react correctly. So when we talked about, the positional thing and stuff like that, and one analogy is, if you fall off the bicycle, you got to get right back on, right? So, and that, it's just like anything, or the horse or anything else, anytime you fall off something, because if not, then you start having the anxiety and the animosity about it. And that scar gets bigger and bigger, and the anxiety gets bigger and bigger, and then it becomes you're spending time in therapy trying to get over something, as opposed to, damn, I should have just got back on the bicycle. That's something that you just have to do. It's just, I think we learn how to just kind of do that, on the mat every day. So, what's your guys' thoughts?
For me, there's not much more stressful than a 300-pound guy on top of you, trying to kill you, and I think you learn. It can be quite humbling when a guy 100 pounds less than you gives you the same kind of pressure,
Oh yeah.
So you learn a lot in that respect. But I think, metaphorically speaking, if you can sit there, keep your mind calm, and kind of get through it, even though it might only be 5 minutes on the mat, if you kind of transfer that into everyday life, whether it's relationship problems or work stress and stuff like that, you just kind of keep that kind of same mindset that you can deal with it and get over it. It's kind of a good thing, but also, like a white belt, you don't really know what it is, but as you get on, you realise, okay, sometimes things are too difficult to deal with, and tap, it's okay to kind of realise I did something wrong there, let me reset, and I'll attack it differently next time. So I don't know if that's the route you were going down, but that was something.
Well, there's a lot of different ways you can look at it. I think definitely that's one of them. I think so.
You want me to talk?
Please.
All right. I'm ready.
Do it.
No, but overcoming adversity. I've had several experiences. Okay, in our gym, in the prior gym, at a camp, where I've rolled with somebody and been absolutely smashed. Okay, and I've had somebody's will put on me, and I've just not been able to do anything, and I felt kind of beat up, and it affected me for a long time. I would avoid that person or those people, and it was kind of scary. And I would just do anything I could not to, let's say, roll with that person, because what would happen is anytime we'd even drilling with them, it would take me right back to that first time when I got absolutely smashed, and it'd be almost like PTSD or whatever. I'm like, I don't want that to happen again, and. Coming back to the getting back on the bike after falling off the bike, I encourage anybody, if you have a bad roll with somebody, I'm going to categorize it as a bad roll. communicate that to the person you're rolling with, and roll with them again and say, listen, you know, I went a bit heavy last time, I didn't feel good about it, you know, and so on. Because what I do is, if I'm faced with confrontation, I'm away, and it took me in 2 particular instances years to have I was actually forced into rolling with them again, you know, and actually the second time was not that bad. It was a learning experience, and it was a good roll. So, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of my take on it. You know?
Well, I think one thing too, sometimes people have bad days too on the mat. I mean, the guy you're rolling with may have had a bad, horrible day and something, and he's not communicating as well as he should, and he may just be in smash mode that day. And sometimes, you know, people mature and grow and not just get better, but their ability to communicate better on the mat with their body and verbally gets better as well.
Or he doesn't like Australian accents.
Well, you know, I can understand that too, and I'm not from New Zealand, so.
But, you know, sometimes too, you know, there are people that you're going to roll with that, and it's not even about communication. It's about that they roll strong. They're, you know, no matter how they roll, they're going to roll. And so it gets in your head that you don't want to roll with that person because they're like, damn, that dude's just going to be a dick about it. He's going to be tough. He's going to be whatever. Yeah. And sometimes they're conscious of it. Sometimes they're unconscious of it. I roll with a couple. There's 2 people I roll with, and from sporadically, and I know, no matter what, when I roll with that person, it's a dogfight. Period. End discussion. There's no other way. That's the only way. And Chris knows who I'm talking about. That's the only way they roll, and that's their mindset. But coming over the adversity of it is, I seek that out to curb being uncomfortable rolling people that are as tough or maybe not as tough as those particular people. And I just know that sometimes you just got to go take a beating. You know what I'm saying? And some days you're the Chris's favorite saying. Some days you're the hammer. Some days you're the nail. But you got to. The biggest problem I have with practitioners of jiu-jitsu is they're afraid to overcome that adversity. You know, you get people in there, whether it's their ego, whether it's fear, they come in, they want to learn the art, and you're giving them the art. You're giving it to this person the same as you're giving it to somebody else. But this particular person, for whatever reason, can't break that mindset of saying, this is uncomfortable, and I've got to get past that, and that is the hard pill to swallow, the hard thing to get past. Is you just like, you know, fuck that shit. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to do it. But you know, it's like a sales. You know, if you're a salesman, I can only imagine if you're getting ready to do a multi-million-dollar deal or even a multi-$100,000 deal. You know, you got to go in there with your A game, right? And even though it's physically not uncomfortable, it can be mentally uncomfortable. So you have to get past that. Okay, this person I know who is buying this equipment, selling this equipment, this product or whatever, he's a dick or she's hard to deal with. So you got to go, okay, I got to get my mind right and get past that thing. So, and Ben, what you were talking about, it goes back to all the different aspects of life. If you can get used to that pressure, if you will, of that 300-pound person laying their groin across your face with a nice I think, yeah. So I think that it adds true to what you were saying. Yeah. You know, I think it's like, so you go, you know, if I roll with this particular person, right, and they smash because they're not only strong but they're talented. Then when I go with this other person that's talented but not as strong, I'm like, okay, I can work with that a little bit. Or they're just strong as shit and not quite as talented. Okay, I can take their pressure and I'm gonna use my technique. You know, I think I wish more people, white belts and blue belts, you know, coming up and learning the art. And I hate to even say this, a few higher ranked belts, you know, don't be a quitter. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be the winner. Just don't be a quitter.
Well, I think, yes, you're hitting it on the head. And we are not, we get the idea. some people are just dicks. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, some people are just, we're not saying that just, you just don't understand the person you're rolling with. No, some people are just jerks.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you can't, and that's what I'm saying when we say communication, I should be able to talk to you and say, hey man, there's a difference between I'm scared this crazy bastard is going to hurt me and he's giving me a stern roll.
Right.
There's a difference there.
Oh, sure.
You know, there's a component of recklessness. You're trying to injure me.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. And I think what Eric says that you don't want to roll with people, you don't want to train with people that got bad energy. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because
Absolutely.
people easy, you know.
Yeah.
I guess you absorb that, and I think I've come to learn that, you know. And once I've overcome that fear. And believe me, I can sense it. You know, when I'm in the gym, I can sense that somebody's not in a good place, or there are certain characters, you know, that we talked about before. I'm gonna give them a wide berth, you know, up until that point where I think that, okay,
I think it was very eloquent. I think you should share, you know, how we were discussing a particular individual, a person we were trying to help out, and you described this person as how you handled them. What did you say?
I guess, you know, my interaction with him, I've been treating him like one of these abused pit bulls.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, he is, if you look at him physically, he's like a pit bull, you know? And he's got really high energy, and I don't believe for 1 minute he's got bad intentions, but I just, you know, I started communicating a little bit with him. I would just sort of stay around him in the gym and let him do his
Let him
thing.
get used to you.
Exactly.
In the area.
And it's been an ongoing process. I think he's been coming, a couple of months or something, or a few months, and only last week, you know, he wanted to talk to me and tell me a little bit about himself.
That's good.
So I think, you know, over time, maybe we'll drill some, but up until that point, that I feel okay, you know, we're good, I'm not going to do that. You know?
Isn't it funny how different people approach different things? You know what I'm saying? It's like how you approach things, how Chris or how Ben approaches different things, how I approach things. It's fascinating psychology wise is that, you know, some people like me, I'm just gonna head off at the path kind of guy, you know. It's like if I get this, you know, I know. Yeah, let's just get it over with. And especially, I mean, I've been to places, I don't know, sometimes I feel like I put off an aura to where, where
you do,
where I get people, you know, I walk through the thing and sometimes I feel like I get sought out, especially with the people that are just starting. It's almost like they're little, you know, if they have any kind of alpha in them,
right.
It's like I'll be strolling around, whatever, and next thing I know, I got somebody, you know, looking at me a little crazy, you know.
Well, that brown belt around your waist conveys a little bit of that. I
Yeah,
mean, that's a brown belt definitely draws crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause people want to tell you know, you're always having to, you know,
reassure them.
Yeah, reassure them that this is the real deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's my approach. I guess it's different from your approach. Because I have a switch. You know, and I can go from 0 to 100
yeah.
pretty fast, and I'd rather just avoid that scenario and
that
that
makes
situation, and I don't want to get injured.
Yeah.
You know, I really don't want to get.
But there's no wrong answer though. But
No.
is my point. You know, I think it's fascinating that different people handle it different ways.
Yeah, I mean, you know, sometimes I go in the gym and I need that intense roll because I'm pissed off because
you want to burn off some juice.
Yeah. But you have to find the right partner for that.
Yeah.
You don't want to go and smash somebody
Sure.
or get into a fight, you know, in the gym.
I used to do that with Nut. Nut would come in, man, he just full of that hormonal energy, you know, Nut. You know, a beast of a 14-year-old at the time.
Right.
And one of the and you just see, you know, young man, you know, he's got the hormones kicking, athlete, strong, and he's like, I want to roll, and I'm like, okay, and then next thing you know, his dad's over there going, I can't believe you had to fight him off for 30 minutes, talking about me fighting him because he's just coming at me for 30, but I didn't try to hurt him, I didn't even really try to submit him too much, but I just let him bleed off all that young energy for half an hour.
And now he's, you know, doing very well in wrestling because of that. Probably that mindset that changed. But guys, like I said, you're talking about it, and everybody has their different way. But the thing is, you're all addressing it in a correct fashion in just your way.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
What's right for you, right?
And seeing how, and again, as instructors, and again, like we talk about, we're always training instructors. I mean, we're trying to build an environment where it's a very healthy environment where people can communicate with each other, and hopefully making everybody's communication better as we go, and seeing both how everybody has, not that I'm some guru, but seeing how everybody's has improved our circle.
Absolutely.
As like, and the rising tide raises all boats. It really does. I mean, we can. Well, we've gone to you. We've all referred to each other. About things, trying to deal with certain things and bouncing stuff off because we're trying to come up with the correct solution.
Well, to add more is two of our ladies. We got Laura and we got Caitlin. And when they started, they had a lot of adversity to overcome, and both of them have done a fantastic job of doing it. Both of them in their own way. They both had their own demons to get past of what they were trying to accomplish, and both of them are. I give them credit. They're great practitioners. And at their skill set level, and if you could really, on the lady side, put up a couple of poster childs of that. Those two would be really good because most of the ladies that's come and gone.
Yeah.
They didn't overcome it. They didn't overcome the fact that you got a sweaty dude, laying on you and touching you, bumping against your lady parts, and so that's a lot to come over.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean. And it's just
the way Mike looked at me. There must be a story somewhere. I don't know.
There's always a story.
I'll tell you when the mic's up. The comment you made in the class.
But anyway, I think we look at as just like I said, jiu-jitsu again being just another vehicle for us to learn and better be able to deal with stuff. I think that's the thing.
It definitely. I mean, over the years, I've seen so many people come and go. Come to the gym, and when you actually dig into their background, they come from all different backgrounds. But some people are absolute train wrecks, but the nicest people. Privately.
Yeah.
Or they've had chaos going on, and they come to the gym and they like brilliant people in the gym. Like really well mannered and great training partners. And I think jiu-jitsu's kind of unique in that sense that I don't know what the fuck's going on outside. When you get in the gym with that group of people, it's a great equalizer, and and it settles everything down. I've noticed that several times.
There's been times to add to that there's been times where I've had personal things going on, and I'll tell you, if there's times I haven't gone to the gym, and I realize later that's where I should have went.
I'm right there with you. I've had some pretty, let's say, interesting things happen in business, private, whatever, and then going to the gym.
Yeah,
it's been the best therapy.
Yeah, when now I remind myself if life is taking business and whatever's taking a crap that day, and I'm just tensed up, the absolute first thing I need to do is go somewhere and roll, because it bleeds that energy off. It bleeds that, whatever. And you have an opportunity to hang out with somebody that's not in that mix. So if I'm having a bad day and I come and say, Mike, come on, man, let's go roll. We roll, and we laugh, and we end up cutting up about something. And boom, I've overcame that adversity. I've overcame whatever it was that day that's going on. That doesn't mean I don't have to address it later. But now it's almost like, and if you raise kids, and little knuckleheads, do something, and you're like, and you want to yell, but you got to walk it off. Let me walk away for a second, come back, and if I would have learned that at a younger age, I think I'd have probably been. I'm in a pretty good place, but I think I'd have been in a better place if I'd have learned how to walk it off a little bit quicker.
Well, that's why I think people make a lot better grandparents than they do parents. you know, you you know, you've been through it. You know, you've been through it. It's like you learn a lot. In
That's
the
because you can
process.
give them back.
Right, that's true. That's true. But you know, you learn from all the experience, and you have regrets about stuff. And I think, like I said, as we get down to it, it's always about.
Don't you think that, you know, when people walk in the gym, it's like, and they train there, it's a no judgment zone. You know?
Oh, absolutely.
So, I mean, it really
Unless you didn't wash your gi.
Ah,
Unless you,
Right.
then I'm judging you.
No. But
Right.
I mean, it really is. Aside from those few rules, you know.
Yeah.
It's
I don't care how much you make. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what you look like. I don't care your skin color. I don't care your sexual preference. I don't give a care about nothing.
Right. I mean, we were there, you know, we had an attorney there, we had a banker there, we had a
Physician.
yeah,
You know.
Guy that cuts grass. I mean,
Right,
so,
right,
yeah.
right,
It's just-
right.
We have the guy, you know, the guy with the Santa hat. I mean,
Oh,
you know, the pit bull guy. I mean,
Yeah.
and everything levels out, and there's no judgment. And you know, you roll with this guy, and then you roll with this guy, and you roll this. You know, unless they got a stinky gi.
Yeah, don't have a stinky gi. Rule
Well,
number
that's
one.
that's just a bad thing.
I think that kind of feeds into another point. Like, there's people from that many different backgrounds, and a lot of these people have different goals of what they want to achieve from jiu-jitsu. So
Mhm.
if you roll, and there's one guy in particular, you might be able to tell who I'm talking about by when I describe it, but he wants to compete. So every single roll, he goes 100%,
Mhm.
110%, and he will not tap and stuff like that. If you're a brand new white belt, that could be intimidating because you don't want to get hurt. But
Sure.
he wants to compete, he wants to show that he's got heart and he'll fight through anything, you know.
Mhm.
That's not a bad thing, that's just the way that he is. But we know that because we know him and stuff.
Mm.
A brand new white belt might avoid him, but if you speak to him, just say, look, this is, you know, that's one thing. But I was going somewhere with that, I can't remember what I was saying. But you know, people with different goals, it's like you've just got to realize that it might not be that they were trying to hurt you. It might just be that they.
Yeah, but if you're scared of a person like that, that's an adversity they have to get over.
Sure.
You know, they have to speak up. It's not necessarily they have to physical up, but they have to speak up. Like, you know, Mike was saying, you know, look, man, he cuts it off. You know, he's like, I'm just cutting it off. I'm not going to let you do that. So you gotta pick your way, which is great because if you think about it, it spills back. You know, when they say jiu-jitsu spills back into the world, you have to figure out how you're going to handle stuff.
Absolutely.
Well, in that situation, actually, when the first time I said, look, I'm not gonna roll you anymore, I had to heel hook him like the time before to get him to knock it off.
I like
And then no, because he was really getting
Yeah.
on my nerves.
Yeah.
You know, he was a tall, athletic,
Yeah.
you know, 24-year-old, you know,
Yeah.
with a less than clean gi.
Yeah.
As it happened. But no, I mean,
That was insult to injury, right?
yeah, but no, I mean, it was. I just, you know, I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore because somebody's gonna get hurt. And I just said, you know what, you knock that shit off, or I'm not rolling with you.
Yeah.
We went one more time, and I ended up getting him some, I don't know, Achilles lock, and I said, that's it, I'm done, because it was going, you know, it might as well have been on the street. So I said, I'm not rolling with
It
you.
was just ramping up.
Yeah, I'm done, you know. But he also only had them 2 gears, first and fifth gear.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and he wasn't really that coordinated. But, you know, so I found that, well, I rolled with Chris the other week, and I actually got hold of his leg, and I said, are we including legs?
As he's got my leg and he's got my ankle in his.
Yeah.
In his
Well, you don't want to
grasp.
ask before you get.
Well, he was nice. He said, "Are we doing legs?"
Yeah.
I said, "I guess we are. You've got my ankle in your armpit."
That's right.
But, you know, we rolled, and it was, like, really cagey for the first couple of minutes. And then I think he went for the legs first. And then, anyway,
Okay.
we both ended up going for
Did
the same.
Did Greedo shoot first?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, but and then you know, obviously, you know, he got the better of me, and it was over and done with, and that was it. But you didn't feel at any point in time that it was like it was aggressive, you know. what I'm
We're in
saying?
danger.
Yeah, in danger. I mean, he got a really good ankle lock or something. I can't remember. I know.
Well,
my
that's one of the
foot was
things-
red for 2 days.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like to. I think I pride myself on. At least I think I do a good job. Is I can lock down a submission without submitting somebody. You know, whether it's a Kimura, whether it's an arm bar, whether it's a triangle, I can lock it down.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to snap your arm or head off.
Right.
I can and I can lock it down to enough to where you know I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a point of, you know, whatever, and then I can let it go.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times I'll do that just to let the other person work their escape.
Right.
You know, I'll lock it down to a point where it's clamped on. All right, what you gonna do? And so they're like, fuck, you know, whatever, and then they'll start working out of it,
Yeah.
and I'll let them work. But I think a lot of people have a problem with that.
Well, you know, you're doing that. You're trying to always build your training partners, though, too. You know, I mean, the whole thing is we take each other through this process so that they get better. Jiu-Jitsu, the only thing that you're training the person to beat you. That's what I say as an instructor. If you're not training the person to beat you, you're not a very good instructor. That's the way I look at it.
That's
and
true.
a lot of instructors will be like, they hold
you
it
always-
back.
yeah.
They hold it back. But the thing is, you know, sometimes people aren't ready for information. You know, I mean, they may
Would-
not be quite ready, but
Would that fall into the topic of the story as going backwards as an instructor? Is that the adversity of being a teacher is not being a restrictor?
Yeah.
Would you classify that as a form of adversity? I mean, to let go of your ego enough to where
yeah.
I'm willing to teach somebody what I know, even though if I teach it to them, two things are going to happen. They're going to A, know what I got, and then they're also going to know what I might try to pull on them.
Right. Well, you know, I mean, you start getting into tactics at certain point. There's really not even that many submissions. I mean, really.
I'm just talking about the
but
mental
yeah,
aspect
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. The mental. Well, one thing we do is we try to teach a little bit of strategy and stuff, even when we're teaching in class. You know, a lot of times other schools will teach it to a specific technique or like a series. You know, but we usually sometimes we'll talk about things and try to talk strategy as we go. But yeah, I mean, that's it. We're training people how to, you know, I'll say, you need to do this, and this is why we do this. It's the best thing. This will work because it will do it here. Again, it goes back to that trust thing. Your students, if they can't trust you to lead them, you know, if they're questioning every single thing you do, even though you've been doing it for 30-something years or whatever, that means you're going to have to, you know, do you prove that to them by just tapping them out? No, they're always going to question you. They have to learn to trust you. And some people don't, you know, trust. That's another thing. But, you know, when we start talking about the people and everything, with the issues that people have, trust may be a big, you know, obstacle for them to overcome, you know, even, you know, and that's why it's hard for certain people to roll with people,
Yeah.
too. They don't trust people enough not to hurt them and stuff.
But you know, what you were saying before, I had a situation like that with Wing Chun. I was with a guy private lessons for several years, and I actually went and spoke to somebody else. And I said, I ain't getting nowhere. You know, I was being held at a level, and the guy who I talked to, he's dead now. But he said, yeah, the beads of sweat are appearing on his brow, and he's got to lengthen this shit out. You know, to keep you as a customer.
Right.
And he said, I suggest that you go in a different direction. So I went in a different direction and got whatever, you know. So, but I don't think that happens so much in Jiu-Jitsu, you know. I think because it's a never-ending road, you know. It's not a system, and
Sure.
you go white through black in 3 years or whatever. And your instructor is always going to be getting the next level,
Yeah.
learning newer and newer techniques.
If they're
And-
training like they should be anyway.
yeah,
Right.
but also, you know, they're getting old, you're getting older. They've got to think about their bodies as well to be able to last the journey in Jiu-Jitsu, you know, to make it up to
Yes.
that much higher level. So I saw it in Wing Chun. I've not really seen it in Jiu-Jitsu per se. I
Yeah.
don't think, because it's, you know, it's,
It just is what it is. I mean,
Yeah.
you're going to learn it, and
yeah,
that's the way it goes.
yeah.
That's the great part about the art. It's such a live training. It can be,
Right.
it should be such a live training.
The energy of it. You know, it's just that you can't fake the energy of jiu-jitsu. I mean, you know, you've got to, you know, and you're learning how to do it. And again, if you're training your people correctly, you're always gonna be growing yourself. You know, you've got to. But anyway, well, guys, thank you very much. That was very good. Hopefully, you guys got something out of it at home and everything. Again, if you have not subscribed to us, please subscribe. Leave comments. Give us some topics that you want us to discuss. Again, one of our goals this year is to get on some other formats, so it might be a little bit easier for some of you to listen to us and all. And
I have one question.
yes, sir.
When are the Heel Hook Chimps t-shirts going to be available for purchase?
Probably in the month of February.
Okay, I look forward to
That's
seeing
right.
that.
So we're still finalizing the design. We'll put that up when we get that going.
Okay.
But yes, that's a long story. We'll talk about it on the next podcast.
Well,
But
it came up on the
Oh,
heel
yeah.
hooks.
Yeah.
Remember?
yeah, when we were
The chimpanzee with a 38.
Yeah, that's
That's
right. That's right. So those T-shirts will be coming out.
I like how he said, why 38? Because I don't know, just easy to handle.
That's right. Snub nose.
You heard it here first.
That's right.
That's right. That's
It's
right.
dated now.
That's right. It's the real deal, real thing. Anyway, guys, thanks for again being on the podcast, and everyone at home. I hope you have a great week, and we'll talk to you next time.